Thank you. The next speaker is Mr. Carrico, External Vice President of the B3 Youth Group.
So what are we doing here right now?
We are waiting for a city council meeting about art spaces in Vancouver.
We just want to make it known that as much as they're saying that they're trying to make it easier for us, they're actually going out of their way to attack spaces like ours.
The city really needs to actually put its words into action when it's talking about maintaining art spaces and allowing art spaces to exist and thrive. Because right now it's not working. So we're here to essentially push the issue so that they can't, sit back and think that they're doing a good job because they're telling themselves they're doing a good job, and they're telling people that they're doing a good job because they're not.
I don't know, we do have some sympathetic council members, and a lot of the councillors are actually really liberal, sympathetic people, but bureaucracy is negates it all pretty much.
So, I'll try to cover all the main points. But what's basically going on right now, the 100 block of West Hastings Street, historically it's been full of artist studios. It's what attracted me to the art scene in the first place in Vancouver. And I've been doing these spaces since 1981, so 30 years. I've had 4 different spaces, and all of them have been shut down by development, including this one, and each time we've moved to another place because there used to be other places, but there really isn't anymore. There's nowhere for us to go. So, in a lot of ways it's been the same place in 4 different buildings, because every time we moved all the people and all the stuff, we found a new place to start again. And this has been going on for a long time. Right now, there's the 100 block of West Hastings has, especially the south side of the street, has been full of studios for many, many years. And there's 3 buildings left, and all 3 of them are in the process of being sold to developers. So that's probably around 100 artists that are being displaced from the 100 block of West Hastings right now. That's 100% of the art space on the 100 block of West Hastings. So, this process is, and I've been involved in it from the beginning. I've been going to these meetings, and part of it is identifying multi-tenant studios, identifying the places that are at risk, and they certainly have been identified. But there's been really no, it is in fact the city that has forced the issue by, they came in and they said, oh, there's all these safety issues, so we've been, going, okay, well, I don't want to be in a dangerous building, I don't want to die in a fire, I don't want to be responsible for anybody else dying in a fire. Tell me what we need to do, So we've been given a list, we do the list, they come back and they say, oh, they find a couple more things. But the point is, all along, the condition was that the owner would submit a full development plan in order for us to be able to continue occupying the building. Now, I certainly knew that he wasn't going to do that. He hasn't done it for 15 years. I think anybody who knows him was probably pretty confident that he wasn't going to do that. So it seems like it was built in, and basically the city ordered the building to be vacated. Well, first we ordered out at the end of June, and then we got a 60-day extension. We ordered out at the end of August. Now we're ordered out on the 26th of September. The artists have all gone from the building, mostly. Some of us are still there. I was surprised that the city carried through with that threat. So we've been fighting this sort of moving target. For example, one of the items in the final eviction notice of latching doors, in the fire corridor. And it's that's the first time anybody asked us to put a latching door in the fire corridor. Yet that's cited as a reason we're being evicted, So that's it, gone. And it's a cultural ecosystem that is basically going extinct. And all the young artists in Vancouver are moving to Montreal or Detroit or Berlin or places where they actually seem to, be supporting that. From my point of view, it feels like, the city has been hunting us down for 30 years. And this is the point of view of the arts, I'm talking about the young artists of the city, We need these places, and it's hard for bureaucrats, I think, to understand spontaneous activity, understand why we need places where young people can just make stuff up off the top of their head. You look at you know, the successful artists of Vancouver, you know, the Vancouver School, Rodney Gray, Jeff Wall, Ian Wallace, all these people, where did they get their start? Hanging out in those places, like even on that block of 100 block West Hastings, Jeff Wall and his studio down there. You know, they used to hang out at parties and all this kind of stuff. A scene where where ideas get, you know, sparked, you know. People talk about, you know, we need incubators for culture. Before we need incubators, we need fertilization. You know, we need that spark, that we need something to incubate. Where did these ideas come from? You know, a few years later, we've got Richard Lukács, Angela Grossman, Derek Rube, and these people. Same thing, you know, they hung out in studios in that neighborhood. That's where the ideas come from, you know. And the thing is, you know, the city's been getting this for free all these years. You know, it's not costing anybody anything. In fact, you can't stop these artists from doing it. They're going to find space. They're going to do it. You know, so I've been working for 3 years. It's very frustrating to try to do this legally, you know. And at the end of the day, boom, we're out of it. It's like Stephen Linton's buying the building. He's going to get it. It's going to be, you know, $25 a square foot. So,
Mr. Carrico, that's just what your time is.
That's my 5 minutes. Okay, if I can just you know, sum up. I mean, at this point, it seems like the process it rings kind of hollow. Gentrification without displacement. You know, we're displacing all of the artists of the 100 block of West Hastings Street right now, and you know, while we're voting on this. So, I guess my question is, you know, where are we supposed to go? Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, how is it going to happen? Because, you know, to a certain degree, it's harm reduction. You guys have to think of it in these terms. If people can't do these things legally, they're going to find a place to do it. It's going to be some crappy little basement somewhere. You know, I pay attention to this stuff. I've been doing it for 30 years. Never had a problem. Never had any fights. You know what I mean? I'm paranoid about fights. I don't even let people have cannons. You know?
All right, thank you, Mr. Carrico. You do have to go from Councillor Deal, though.
So where are we supposed to go?
Mr. Carrico?